Call to order, City of Forest Park Council Meeting number 1353, March 2nd, 2020. Let's stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk call the roll, please.
Brown,
Here.
Kirby, Holt,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
Here.
Sylvester.
Here.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman? Oh,
I make a motion to excuse Councilwoman Herbie and Nuss and Law Director Mr. Wyckoff.
Second.
been moved and second that we excuse Councilwoman Herbie, Councilwoman Nuss, and the Law Director. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They're excused. Item 2 is minutes. Everybody should have got a copy of that. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing no one, we will move, the minutes will be adopted as presented. Next item is presentations. We have none. Communication from the public. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcription. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the body? Seeing no one, we'll move to item 5, reports. First of those being Law Committee, Mr. Brown.
No reports and no items to add at this time.
Any questions for Mr. Brown? Seeing none. What? No, okay. My agenda may look different than you all, so I'll get to everybody. Okay. There's no questions for Mr. Brown, and the clerk, I don't have any items on the agenda for the work session. Is that correct? Okay, next report is Human Resources, Councilwoman Holt.
I do not have a report tonight, thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Holt? None. Councilwoman Holt, I don't have any items on the agenda for you for the work session. Do you have anything to add?
No, I do not.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Next committee is Public Improvement and Facilities, Mr. Sylvester.
Mr. Mayor, as bad as I want to give a report, I have none to give at this time.
Any questions for Mr. Sylvester? Okay. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Sylvester, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any? You don't have it. You didn't have any to add, right? No, sir. Good. Next report is Public Safety, Councilwoman Nuss, who is absent. Is there anybody from her committee for a report? Seeing nobody. The only item on here is for the Community Programming Board, and this is probably to fill a vacancy. Next item on the agenda would be Ways and Means. Councilwoman Herbie is absent, and no report from her. Next committee is Community Development Committee, Councilwoman Moore.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, I do not have a report at this time.
Councilwoman Moore, on the agenda for next week, we have 2 items. One would be temporary rentals, and the second would be update on the energy consumption. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not.
Next report is intergovernmental relations. We will continue with our review of the rules of council. That would end my report. I'll answer any questions if there are any. Moving to item number 4, the mayor's report. The only thing I would like to report on, and actually it's more of a thank you, would be that on this last Monday at the Senior Center, they had the Black History Month luncheon, And at that luncheon, the city recognized with a proclamation Mr. Edwards. I want to thank all of those people who attended, those people who were involved in preparing and putting the program together. And it was also usually on that occasion, the members, the people typically, most of them or some of them would dress in African garments. And this year, because of the presentation to Mr. Edwards, a number of people also wore the Tuskegee Airmen T-shirts. It was a very nice event. I would like to especially thank the drum corps who played, and the city manager who welcomed the group there, as well as we had a short Mr. Curtis Fuller from Channel 5 spoke briefly to the committee. So thank to the group. So thank to all those people who was present for that. That's the end of my report. I answer any questions if there are any. Being none, I move to the next item, the city manager's report.
I have a couple things this evening, just to report on. We would like to add one item to the work session. Energy. We were going to receive our first energy aggregation contract. We'll be discussing that on Monday morning with our contractor. So we'd like to bring that to council's committee meeting that evening to discuss the terms and conditions and see how we want to move forward with that. The foreclosed property, vacant property, rental property registration, again, and the temporary rentals, again, we'll be talking about that as well. There'll be several ordinances and to discuss there. We also will have a presentation by a contractor who will discuss some of the things that we're going to attempt to implement, assuming City Council is okay with it. Attended the International Festival this weekend for the Dayspring Church on Smiley. It's quite an event. You can't really believe how many groups of folks there are, the different communities in our city. I couldn't tell you how many there were. I would say 30 or 40 different nationalities represented. They had their food, had presentations. They had information about their countries, and it was quite an event, and it was a lot of fun. And I will go speak a little bit. Last Thursday on the news, there was some information about the mall, and our efforts to some of the efforts that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, just for the public's own, bring public up to date so they know exactly what we're doing in full transparency. February 17th, we took our inspectors, our team of inspectors, to the mall after growing concerns with regards to the condition or the continued deterioration of the exterior of the mall and the conditions there. We were looking. Our main concern was life safety. Things that would, such as chained exit doors, things like that. That was our biggest concern. City has a primary interest in making sure that the public is safe when they go into those buildings. We also are concerned with the condition of the parking area, the exterior of the building, graffiti, different other areas, and we're currently in the process. There were several fire violations that were noted. We're currently in the process of working through with our attorneys and with other experts to make sure that we understand exactly what we can do. The objective of that, again, was for life safety and to bring to the attention and to set a bar where we could say, on this date, these were the conditions. That way we can document them, and we can move forward with any kind of changes that we want to see happen. We look forward to working with the owners of the mall to make it, bring it up to the standards that this community expects from property maintenance. And over the next couple weeks, we will be having those discussions, and hopefully we can report out some good news. And ultimately with the objective of not only keeping the public safe, making the building and the area look nice and bring it up to the standards that we expect, but also to work with the owners to redevelop and repurpose the mall into the future. So that's what we did, and we continue to be diligent in that it is a priority for the city, and just again to bring the public up to speed on what's been happening there. Other than that, I'd be willing to answer any questions.
Any questions for city manager? Thank you, sir. Next item, item 8 is other reports. The clerk of council, Ms. Boyd.
I'd like to report that ordinance number 03-2020 and resolution numbers 09-2020 and 08-2020 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for clerk of council? Hearing none, thank you. Item number 9 is new business. There are no new business items on the agenda for now. Does anyone have anything that they would like to talk about under new business? Seeing no one, is there any other business to come before the body? Any other business to come before the body? Hearing none, we're adjourned.